Hey, welcome to another episode of Everything NYC Podcast. We have two ladies here on the couch, and the episode is Are You Ready for a Relationship? Let's get into it.
As you can see, we have these cards laid out on the table, and during this conversation, at any moment while we're talking, if you feel like anybody is lying or saying anything funny or interesting, let's just say that, you could designate a card to anybody, any one of us, anybody. But you can only send 3 cards to a single person. You can't abuse them. You can't send the whole deck to one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Can't make it right.
Yeah, there you go. So if somebody's saying something, you be like, and then you just say, yeah, pick up a card. And it's just a random question on the other side.
Okay.
So that's what it's there for.
Okay, we'll follow your lead on that one.
No problem. I'm a good leader.
All right, so let's start with the intros. Please start with your name, your age, where you're from, what you do. And the final question is going to be the best dish that you can cook.
Oh, man. Okay. That's rough. All right, well, I'll get it out of the way.
A lot of stress.
So my name is Liz. I'm an IFBB professional bodybuilder. That kind of leads into what I do for a living. Originally started back in California, did some personal training out there, moved out of the restaurant business and moved to Phoenix, and then finally moved my way out here to New York. But I really focus on nutrition, health, and on kind of like overall mind, body, spirit. And is that all of them? Oh, 36. Sorry, I won't lie.
36.
Recently 36. I'm on the tip end of it here.
Yes, yeah.
But dish, that's hard because I'm in nutrition, and my best dish is like, what do you got in the kitchen?
Okay.
We used to do this thing as a kid called Catch as Catch Can, which is basically figure it out. Look in the cupboard, figure it out. And that's what I do. So I can just make anything. As long as you got a protein, a carb, and whatever, I'll figure it out.
Make something out of nothing, basically.
Yeah, I was a meal prep chef for like 3 years. So I had to make healthy food taste good for like 50 people.
And one final one, are you ready for a relationship?
I'm in one. I'm happy.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Oh, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into it.
But recently, that's why I feel like
Nice. Recent. How recent?
within like the last 3 weeks.
Okay, cool. That's recent. So
good intel
we'll
right
get into
now.
that. We'll get into that. All right.
I'm glad you're here.
Hi, I'm Laura. I'm 28. I'm 28 this year. I work in fashion. I'm a materials buyer. I came from Philly, and my favorite dish to cook, it is double cooked pork. So it's a Chinese dish. It's very fatty. It's not healthy at all. But yeah, you do. But it's something like we cooked at home. So I tried my hand at it and turned out pretty good. It may be the only dish I know how to cook.
Okay. And both of your parents are from China?
Yes, I'm from China. We're all from China, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So the topic of discussion is, what makes you think you're ready for a relationship? We can start here and then we'll slide back. Laura, let's see what you got to say.
Am I ready for a relationship? I think I am. Why I feel that way is because I feel like I'm in a good place, like mentally, like from where I came out of from my last relationship. I feel happy. I'm content. I feel stable. You know, like all the issues were resolved from the last relationship. The only thing, like I had mentioned this while we were talking, but I feel like I'm not quite where I am in my career where I want to be. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm ready for a relationship, but I don't know where I'm going to end up, like city-wise. Am I going to be here? Am I going to be moving somewhere to the West Coast? So I don't know, like, if I can handle being in one. You know, I guess yes, I'm ready, but at the same time, like, I need some time too.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So what about you, Miss 3 Weeks? Miss 3 Weeks?
Well, what's the question?
The question is, what makes you think you're finally ready for a relationship?
Man.
What have you been through?
Hell, you didn't see the fire coming in when I walked through the door. Don't call me Phoenix for nothing. You know, it has directly to do with the amount of self-work that I went through over the last year. And specifically because of what I do and how I link mind, body, spirit to how I live on a daily basis. I'm a heavy believer in serendipity. And I'm one of those magic fairy creatures that will tell you it's real. And that if you slow down enough to figure out how your creature body works, you'll actually start to see that it's not so hard to find any soulmate. And it just so happened that when I figured that out, somebody just kind of came back in. Somebody who'd been there the whole time anyway.
He was in the friend zone.
Not necessarily, but he got kicked back there after my divorce. So that was like a big deal, right? I had taken, he showed up very quickly after, I had separated, from like a really, really bad breakup, like the worst I'd ever been in, really bad. And, there was emotion there in the beginning. And then, of course, my mind at that point was saying, this feels good, but I'm like the kind of person that love is my drug. And I'm not really ready to dive into something that I know I'm going to get addicted to and lose myself again. I just already lost myself so many times. And out of protection, or so I thought, protection for him, I just kind of pushed him away and was like, you know what, this is probably just we're not meant to be. This is not the right time and whatever. So I went through my own journey of the soul. And have you ever heard that song?
DMX?
No, yeah, it's totally a white girl song. And oh man, it's really sad because ever since it's happened, it totally turned back into a white girl. Start Jupiter in her hair. It's by Train, I think. Drops of Jupiter. That's what it is. It's not Train.
That's a good song.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so it talks about like she goes off into the universe and whatever, and he's like, "Did you find yourself while you're out there? Or did you miss me?" Kind of thing. Like you didn't think you were just going to come back and have your best friend here all the time, and like that's what I'm talking about. It's like when you do go out there and you take that journey, you're ready for a relationship when somebody's happy that you went out there, and somebody's ready for you to go back if you need to go back. So it depends on what you're looking for.
Okay. So let me ask you, what are the top, let's say the top qualities you look for in a man? Like character-wise. Let's start up there. Let's start inside before we go outside. Character-wise, the top.
I've always said, like, I hope that our sense of humor kind of aligns. That's really important to me because I tell a lot of dry jokes, really dry. I have one friend who always laughs at my jokes, and I thought I was really funny until I realized I'm going out there telling my jokes and no one else is laughing. I'm like, okay. So humor is really fun, really important to me. Your values, like your goals, where you want to be, like your aspirations. For me, like I like a man who's motivated, not someone who's happy and content with where they are. Like they have to be reaching for something, And did you say 3?
Hey, we can go
Or I can end it at 2.
Top 3.
Top 3. You can't be stingy, I guess.
With money?
It's just like with just being a giving person. I come from a family where, like, if someone has nowhere to go, we take them in. If someone's friend has nowhere to go for the holidays, we take them in, and we don't question, we don't ask for anything back. And when I'm with a person, like some of the people I've dated have been a bit stingy, like either it's with what we order, like something that's very basic. Like we go to a restaurant, they're very particular about what they order, what I can order. It was very strange. I love someone who's just like kind of open. I'm not gonna bust your budget, but at the same time, I'm open. Like I will pay for a dinner too. You can order whatever you want. I just like that, like openness, like generosity.
It's very rare. Very rare that I see women pick men up, take them out, pay for the bill, and take them home. But hey, I guess it's common. But I guess so. So what's your top 3 qualities?
You know what? I hate to be like the jerk in the room, but I'm sorry, aesthetics, because I'm a physical person.
Hey, that's you.
But that has a little bit more to do with the fact that when I look at somebody's physique and their color, their skin, not necessarily in tone, but like, are you yellow because your liver is, whatever, or do you get bags on your eyes, those kind of things. Like I have to know that there's an energy inside that cares about preservation of the creature. That's something that's very natural. I think that's evolution in itself. So yes, I have to have some kind of physical attraction, but I can tell you, number 2, if you ain't got number 2, you might as well be Ken doll on the side. You're plastic, please don't talk. And that's like, you got to have a conversation. You have to be able to talk to me in a way where I can't see right through you and see that you're trying to impress me in some way. Like, stop. I don't need all that. I just need you to be you if you want to show up as you. If you're afraid to be that person, then I can tell you right now it's not going to work. And then I guess number 3 is, can you maintain that energy when you're around people who are challenging you? Somebody who shines a little brighter than you, can you maintain that? Are you going to be somebody who's going to have to push back and be, the man in the room kind of thing? Like, we're evolved beings. Like, I don't want to see that toxic masculinity, so learn how to control that stuff.
And so that's the top 3 that you want from a man. What top qualities would y'all bring to a man?
You first.
What was the question? Can you?
What are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
What are your 3?
What are your 3?
Okay. What are my 3? I think I'm mood-wise and all that. I'm pretty consistent. Like to your point, I'm a very consistent person. When I get angry, like I do take some time to like step back, reevaluate. I don't scream, I don't yell. So I bring like a consistent energy. Like I like to be in a good mood. I feel like most people do. I like being like around positive energy. What do I bring to the table? What else? This is rough. Okay. I think I'm a very spontaneous person, and I get bored with routine. Like, other than work routine where I have to be consistent there, I get a bit bored with like the usual stuff. So like going on dates or like picking out a movie. Like I have all these like weird moods where like I want to try something new. I want to try like some of my favorite activities that are just so out of pocket, I guess, would be like archery. Yeah, driving like
Female warriors are coming alive.
if we go on a trip, like going somewhere like Alaska or like going somewhere like that's different, that's brings you out of your comfort zone too, you know. At the same time, like I want you to grow. At the end of the day, when I'm in a relationship, I want to help you grow, and I want you to do the same for me. I want to support you in your careers and your endeavors, and I would like the same thing back. And that's what I think I bring to the table.
Okay, that was very well spoken.
You look very
well
skeptical, though.
No, I'm just listening.
I thought he was going to tell you pick up a card.
I'm just listening.
I seriously thought he was going to say pick up a card.
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I'm just
He's
listening.
being nice right now.
I'm just listening.
He's
We warming
feeling it
up.
out.
We warming up. So what about you?
What do I bring to the table?
Yeah.
I mean, look, first of all, we got to meet in the middle at this table. So that's something that's like a concept I feel like needs to be very understood, is that if we both now just decide to sit down at this table, all right, there we go. Now we both made a conscious decision to be in each other's energy. What do I bring? I am like a life coach for life and everybody around me. I know what I am. I know what I provide. The messages, the support that the Divine Feminine can provide is what I provide. And I think that men really need that safety. So what do I provide? I provide safety for them to be their Divine Feminine as well, which means that you can have emotions around me. You can feel around me. You can talk to me. You can know that I'm loyal. You can, okay, so I'm going to say something that might be a little off the cuff.
No, talk, please.
My ex-husband is half Black, half Japanese and Filipino. And there were several times in which, you know, arguments get to arguments, and you would always say, like, look, if we get so wild and the cops get called, like, one of us is going to have to leave, and it's going to be me. And I just looked at him and I said, oh, honey, me being the kind of woman that I am, living in the culture that I am, knowing the kind of person that you are and what they're going to look at you as, I'm not going to give them that opportunity. So know that I'm not the kind of person that's ever going to bring that kind of drama in your life. Which you will bring my drama in your life. So be ready, okay? And that's how I kind of look at things. We're a fair ground right now. I don't care what you do. I don't care how mad you are. I don't care what it is. Love is unconditional, and that's what I bring to the table. But I also require that you hold me accountable for those things too. So I also come with a lot of humility in the sense that if I get jostled a little bit or if something makes me uncomfortable, know that I'm going to come with honesty, because I'm going to be like, yo, this is what it looked like to me. Tell me I'm crazy. You know, and I'll let you know I need validation in this place. And if you're okay with doing that, then I'll do the same for you.
Okay, it's a lot of energy coming out of you.
I told you, man.
It's a lot of energy coming.
3 weeks, man.
And one thing that popped into my head while you were speaking, do you, this is for both of y'all, better yet, but I want you to answer this first.
Okay.
Do you consider yourself more of an alpha or a submissive woman?
Neither.
Neither. So what do you consider yourself?
Because an alpha or submissive in a partnership is never going to work. You need two alphas together to lead a pack.
Two alpha?
Absolutely. There's
A
an
male
alpha
and a
female and an
female?
alpha male. One of the really, really misunderstood things is that they're always supposed to have just one male dominant there. That's not fair to you guys, because that doesn't allow you to feel, that doesn't allow you any breaks, that doesn't allow you anything like that. Females need to be able to stand strong too. But at the same time, the alphas together, when they are both balanced in each other, can then lead others who are maybe a little bit unbalanced, and they can find little ways to balance themselves and their energies as well. I am an alpha energy in general, yes, but I'm not necessarily submissive to my partner.
At all.
And your partner also brings that alpha energy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I need to know that if I leave the room, you good. And I need to know if you leave the room, that you know I'm good. But I know that when we're both in the room together, ain't nobody messing with us.
So
That's okay with me. Like, that's my energy. I'm a protector.
Is your man typically submissive?
No. No, they haven't been.
But two alphas, don't you think that would be like a lot of
Clashing,
clash?
you know?
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
Yeah,
No, I was thinking about that. I was just like,
You usually have one alpha that leads the entire
Yeah,
pack.
it's like a
right?
balance.
That's usually how it works.
in a relationship.
so I kind of agree with what you said in the beginning. But I do think like that alpha submissive, like power level, like dynamic, it wanes, you know, like depending on the situation. Someone's forte is handling this situation as opposed to another situation. So that's when the two alphas like come in. So I grew up in a family in a household where the female runs the family, the household. Very much so. My grandmom, like, she was the loudest voice in the household. My mom has the most education too, so she goes out there, but my dad like backs her up there. So my dad was like the financial backer of the family, but my mom goes out and she's a speaker. So I saw and I grew up with that kind of dynamic, and I feel like it definitely fluctuates. There's no true submissive, there's no true alpha, and I don't see myself in that sense either. I think I am quieter just personality-wise when I go out there, but I don't think I'm submissive, because if someone I date tells me something I don't like, I'll sit there and say no. I'm not gonna throw a huge fit about it, but I'll just say no. And that's me putting my foot down. It's almost like a quiet foot, you know, a quiet stance.
Okay. Situational. I could definitely agree to that. But on average, most men typically shy away from alpha females. Though.
Do you think
On
so?
average.
Question.
Yeah, you got
Well, another question. So I have a point. So when like you're at a restaurant, and I feel like I've been on so many dates where like the guy like his order came out wrong, but they would sit there and bear it. You know, they would just be like, "Oh, the food's okay. I'll just eat it anyway." And I would be like, "No, you didn't order the right food. So let's call the waitress or waiter over, like the server over, and just get it replaced. Like we'll just send it back." They're like, "No, it's fine." And I'm like, "It's not. You didn't order that. We're not. We didn't pay for this, you know." So
would you say is that's not necessarily the stingy reflecting, but that's maybe a little bit of like unattractive, really, because you're just like, stick up for yourself, bro. Don't like the food, don't pay for it, you know?
yes,
Yeah,
and I almost feel the need to like call out to the server myself, because I'm like, if it was my food, I would be like, "Hey, I didn't order this. Would you mind like remaking my thing?" Yeah.
But men typically we don't like to stir the pot. We just like to just deal with certain situations sometimes. Like something like that, that's like minor in certain situations.
But it's the minor things, like that's how when you read people, it's the little things, like what do you stand for? So what if my food came out wrong, or something like someone spoke not so well of me? Are you just gonna sit there and listen, or are you gonna speak up for me?
Because how you treat yourself is how you're going to treat me later.
It's the little things.
I mean,
You'll gaslight me with all this. You'll pay for the bill. You'll make sure everything looks nice and pretty on my plate. But in 6 months, 10 months, 2 years from now, when like all that stuff that you showed me were red flags, like you wouldn't stand up for yourself, you'll start using those things against me. And I've seen it happen. You're the mirror in people's lives. You come in and you find somebody who's agitated by you, or you're agitated by them. They reflect something that you have that you're not willing to accept.
but the mentality's a little different, because a man, like you said, that situation, a man could just let it rock and just say, "I'll just eat the food," or whatever. But if y'all walking down the street and it's time to protect you, he'll protect you. He'll put his life on the line for you. So that's something bigger that he'll step up for. But something little like that, he'll just say, "It doesn't matter." It's different with men, the way we think, like something little like that.
Maybe
it's
what
just
she's
food.
saying is what that reads in energy on a submissive, like as a submissive level. So like that's like a cue to us in an animal nature, I guess you could say, that like, something, it's a noted.
in a female nature.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the interpretation of that is like, noted.
Yeah, because with us, it's just like, I could tell you myself, I was probably, if it tastes good, I'll be like, whatever. If it tastes good, whatever.
Man, if that plate costs you $80,
Look, I think for men, right, in society for men, there's a lot of pressure for us to be macho.
most
for
heart
us-
attacks happen on a Monday.
Yeah, and you know, there's a
That's
lot
a
of
real statistic.
right. Society just places ton of pressure on men to be excellent and to take all this responsibility and everything, right? To be Superman, to be the guy that could take care of everything.
Yeah, that's where I think the females got to start stepping up a little bit. Like
Oh,
we had our
absolutely.
chance. We had our
Absolutely.
little moment. We're like, yeah, we can speak now. And you know what happens when you take the tape off of a lady who's had her mouth shut for too long.
Absolutely.
We're a little loud. When we say things that are a little, there's a lot of power and anger behind what happens when you allow somebody to speak after they've been silenced for so long. I think that's more than just in the feminine. That's a lot of different places. But what needs to happen now is that, we need to calm the hell down and get to a level where we can start letting you guys speak now too.
Absolutely.
And I
right?
think that's what we're starting to see is we're getting a little bit more openness. I've always been like I said, I'm a defender, I'm a protector. And to be honest with you, I don't really have a lot of female friendships up until maybe the last couple of years. I was raised by my dad. Maybe it's probably something to do with it, but it was just easier for me to connect and talk to men because they just were able to tell me things that they wouldn't tell anybody else. Like they were just safe and felt like cool around me. But it got me, into a point where I was starting to understand the male mind in a way that I was like, girls, you have no idea what's going on in there. You have no idea. You're trying to tap on the door. They're already in the basement. They're cutting themselves. Like they don't even know. Their subconscious is tearing them apart and they are terrified. And it's scary because I heard once, this is maybe a little off topic, but they said a man's greatest fear is that a woman will laugh at him. But a woman's greatest fear is that he'll kill her. I was like, dude, that's rough. On one hand, it's like, that sucks for us. Yeah, but that it hurts you guys that much when we have that kind of power over you by just... And I mean, obviously, it's a maleficent energy when we do that. But like, wow, that's a dynamic. We got to balance that. Yeah. That's not fair. That's not fair to either side, right? No, that's not fair.
Like for me, what I look for in a potential partner is someone that I know that can be alpha at certain times, especially if I'm not around. Like she could hold it down.
Right.
I don't have to worry about her if I'm not in the picture, right? Maybe if I'm sick. Maybe if I'm out of town or something, like she could hold it down. She knows exactly what to do. And there's times where she could identify my weak points and know like, hey, whisper in my ear, like, hey, you could possibly do this differently. Have you thought about that? Oh, look at that guy. You probably shouldn't. You probably should watch out for that guy,
Do you know
right?
how many guy friends I have that said that they wouldn't have been in jail, they wouldn't have got stabbed, they wouldn't have had nothing happen if literally 20 to 30 minutes before they did what they did to get in trouble, they listened to their wife or girlfriend or partner at the time because they were like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what you're getting into, but I'm just telling you, don't do this today.
Yeah, so let me bring it back real quick. So have y'all ever cheated?
Absolutely.
You did?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How recent?
Long time ago. It was like earlier in my traumatic relationship history. Consciously, yeah, I did once, but I feel like I knew what was happening when I was doing it because I already felt disconnected from my partner at the time. I'd already felt like I'd voiced the things that were upsetting me. And this particular person was also a past person that I'd had come back around. And I think I knew what was going to happen when I went over there. And I felt like, but you know what? If you can go through with all of this all the way to the end, the first thing you do tomorrow is break up with them. And that's exactly what I did. So, yeah, I'll admit I did it. I did it once, but that was like
Just one time.
Once, and that was it. And it was like for a purpose because I already knew that person wasn't going to be somebody I was going to be with, and I just knew that at that point, if I could go that far with somebody, then I wasn't going to. This wasn't a forever after thing. So I'm not going to waste your time anymore. And I broke up.
I find it funny that women check out when they're already in the relationship.
Well, because here's the thing you don't know.
like-
We already checked out long before we decided to
And
do any of that stuff.
it's crazy because the man has no idea.
But
They're
men
not
do this.
listening.
It happens with men too. I feel like men do check out as well. Like
Yeah.
when you're done with your relationship, you're done with the relationship. You just have to go through and say the words now and break
That's
up
the
in
problem, though.
person.
We don't have the words.
We don't have the words. Why people waste so much time, right?
I
Sticking
don't know
in
how much
these.
time are they swiping up on 37 videos and say the same thing. How many
Yeah,
songs do they
exactly.
sing?
Yeah.
Like a
And-
million times a day.
And Laura, what about you? When was the last time you cheated?
I've never cheated.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah,
Co-star.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I think I would know, but yeah, no, not that I know of.
You never were dating somebody and was talking to somebody else?
Oh, wait, seriously dating, like in a relationship? Then no,
No?
no.
Okay. So what's y'all biggest deal breakers within a relationship? Like something that would happen, you'd be like, I'm done. No, I can't do that. Oh, he got a skirt on? No, like something, anything. Anything
He's Scottish, that's not fair.
like anything. Like a deal
You
breaker.
go first.
Okay,
Let me think
deal
about this.
breakers. Man, that's hard to say because there's levels in how you get to know me. I tell everybody, I was like, you start on the same level with everybody. I don't care how much, I don't care how cute you are. I don't care how much your energy and smell. Oh, you're cute. No, you start right here, and we're just going to get to know each other based on the energies that you progress along. Red flags for me, I call them probably like not deal breakers, but red flags. If there's enough of like, if I can tell that you're insecure about something, and I see it leading to a problem, that I'm going to have to keep repeating to you that this is not a problem, but you're going to now kind of maybe turn that into something that's either aggression or jealousy. If I can see that ahead of time, that's a deal breaker for me. But other than that, I feel like if you're the type of relationship is really different for me now, right? Like I'm looking a little bit more like I've been through all the little stuff. I just want to be with somebody who's going to be like, who's going to be safe when I get home. If you're having a bad day, it's cool. I can work you through that. If you're getting angry at something, if you stole money, you did this, that, or whatever, I don't know. Let's talk about the emotions that brought you to that moment. Okay. Like if I'm going to be here, remember we talked about unconditional love is there. So there's not a lot of deal breakers. Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
I was thinking, I think it's narcissism.
Yes, that's not selfishness, right?
A lot of people say that.
That because like I remember being sitting across the table from a date and all he would do was talk about himself. You know, even when he asked me questions, he would interrupt me and bring it back to him and relate it back to him. But I wasn't finished. Like you literally cut me mid-sentence to talk about yourself. And then we never go back to me speaking. He moved on to the next thing, next topic. He related or he spoke about his experience, you know, brought the mic back to me and then pulled it away real quick. And then, I don't know, like, how am I supposed to have a conversation if I can't get a word in? How am I supposed to get to know you? Because, well, no, I know you. I know you very well. How are you supposed to get to know me?
So when you tell him, I was like, do you have a mixtape for this that I could do? I don't have to come to this restaurant. You know, just send it on to my house. If I like you, I'll select you. Chair number one.
To all the fellas out there, there's no need to run your mouth. When you get on a date with a woman, you ask her a question, stay quiet, and let her speak. That's it. There's no need. If she needs to know anything about you, she'll ask you. Simple as that. So I want to kind of get into y'all heads real quick. So head to toe, this is like build a bear. Head to toe, how do you want your man? We talking about the outside now. We did the inside already.
Yeah,
we done with the inside.
Okay.
We done with that. Now we being superficial. Head to toe, how do you like your man?
And we're gonna start at the top because we just had an episode where a guest mentioned like, hey, he has to have a nice head of hair.
Yeah.
A previous episode, a guest mentioned he has to have a beard
Connecting.
that actually connects. So
Wow.
yeah. So does he need to have hair? Can he be bald? Does he need to have some facial hair? Like what's the
As
situation?
superficial as
Okay.
possible.
Building the
As
skills, dog.
superficial.
I know.
That's
It's like, wow,
superficial.
all I got to say is you're really narrowing your options down, bro.
Does he need to,
Yeah,
does he
they
need to
are.
be a certain
They are.
height?
You know what? I'm the kind of person to be like, what kind of person like hurt you in your childhood? Do you need your husband to look like that? Like,
This is
why are
modern
you so
times.
This
specific?
is what we've been told.
This
so
is so
Modern
weird.
times.
Okay, so just like from neck up, what do they need to
yeah,
look
from the
like?
top ups, right? So let's start with the head.
Just hair?
Hair or bald?
I mean, my ex was bald.
All right, so
Current
bald is,
boyfriend has hair. So
bald is fine.
yeah, either one.
Does he have to have some type of facial?
You just gotta take care of your face, man.
There
That's
you
all
go.
I really care about. If I think you're pretty, I need to think you're pretty without the beard too. Because at some point, if we're going long term, you're gonna shave it off at some point. So I need to be okay with that too. I don't want to be dating Justin Bieber when you're done with your beard.
You gotta
Okay.
have a nice chin under that.
Yeah. Wait, turn your back. Let me see the jawline. Nope, push down.
That is funny. So how tall?
You know, that's a funny question because my ex was my height,
How tall?
How tall are you?
5'6".
5'6"?
Yeah.
And he was 5'6"?
He sure was.
Wow.
Yeah, well, see, bodybuilding, maybe people don't realize this. A lot of bodybuilders are actually short. There are really not many that are over 6 foot because it's unrealistic to try to get that density of muscle on a longer frame,
Oh,
or longer
tough.
bone.
Oh,
It
yeah,
takes,
it's tough. Yes.
it takes a long
Yeah,
time.
trust me. It's
Yeah, I know. Two tall guys over here, they're like, yup.
Yeah.
It's just different because you have so much more food you have to eat. So, yeah, I used to be able to say just tall, but I messed that one up
So
a little bit ago.
you were 5'6", he was 5'6", so that's the equality. Okay, I get it. That's equality.
That's not what I was looking
Oh,
for.
okay. yeah.
That's what she ended up with.
So I have a lot of respect for him.
So
but no, I
what about
prefer
this new
taller.
guy? How tall is he?
He's about 5'10", 5'11".
Okay, cool. That's an upgrade.
Yeah, I'm 5'6". If I wear 2 to 3 inch heels, it is comfortable for me to have somebody who's at least my height or higher. That would be nice.
And since you're a bodybuilder, does he have to be a bodybuilder, or can he be fat, or can he, like, what are we talking about?
Remember what we talked about when I tell you that if the body doesn't look like it's supposed to look, then it's generally unhealthy emotions somewhere else.
Okay.
And so if you have unhealthy emotions, I don't want to be your coach. I do that to everybody in this planet, and everybody who talks to me, I was like, it's free information. The person that I want here, I need to continue my knowledge with you. You know what I mean? I need you to bring knowledge to the table I do not have, so that I can, elevate the both of us together.
And what about race?
No, that don't matter.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Okay.
What about
Spirit
age?
is the same. Huh?
Age.
Well, the new one's 10 years younger, so I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, he's 10 years younger.
Oh,
Yep.
All right.
okay.
Yep. There's serendipity in that too, so numbers mean a lot.
Young whippersnapper out here. Okay.
Okay.
What can I say?
Does he have to have tattoos? I see you have a lot of tattoos. Doesn't
Actually, I
matter.
don't think he has any, to be honest with you. Yeah, these kind of just accumulated. I believe a lot of really strange things, but let's just say the rose is very spiritual for me. It's based off the Fibonacci series, which is kind of like the golden spiral. It's like everything is made out of it. You can look in plants, you can look in flowers, you can look in everything is set up that way.
You're pretty open then.
Oh yeah, it's like a rose blooming.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Not as open as
Okay, whatever.
Hang on a
So
little
whatever
bit.
you
The
want.
sunshine
So
will
let's
come
go
over. We'll get some.
From top down.
Whatever you want.
Top, head.
hair.
So you require hair, no baldies.
Not from the back, not from the front.
Damn.
Hair.
Okay, so you require hair. What about, does he need to have some facial hair?
Yes. A full connecting one, yeah.
Okay,
Damn.
she's just,
Wow.
she's just like the...
Wow, that's rough. Okay, so what about height?
I want to say 6 foot and up.
How tall are you?
5'4".
So what if he's like 5'8"? He's good.
It's a little too close for comfort when I wear heels, because then
See,
we're
there
about
you
the
go.
same
Every
height. I don't like
episode.
them.
When you
Every
meet a girl, you
episode.
ask her to be like, "This is."
Heels.
You
Every
don't
episode.
understand though, because when we put our heels on, we're trying to look good for ourselves, yes, but we want you to see us as sexy. We don't want to be like, "Hey, honey, do you think I look sexy?" What does it look like down there? You know what I mean?
Oh no, like also in pictures, like I'm being very superficial. It doesn't look good when like you're at the same height in pictures, you know? Otherwise, like I also don't want to take a step down. You go up two
And have to give
steps
him a
to get
ladder.
that height. Yeah. It's not super attractive.
Fun fact, you know, in movies, a lot of times they carry boxes around for the short
Yeah.
actors.
For the kissing scenes.
Yeah, it's crazy. One of my clients works on one of the shows here in the city, and he was saying they'll put them on a box and they'll cut the scene and then put the lady's heels on and then film her walking away. And I was like, dang, they all lying to us.
What about race and age?
Age, I can go a year below me and up to. Oh, I dated one guy who was about 20 years over.
20
do
years?
20.
20 years over.
Like
Yeah,
a
just
grandfather.
under my mom and dad.
You backing them grandfathers out here, man. I see
Okay,
you.
cool.
They're not that old though.
Stability.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad. Social Security, I say that. Yeah, I say that.
And I've never dated an Asian man, like South Asian.
Really?
Asian, yeah,
I'm pretty sure your parents would
Prefer.
prefer that.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Lineage.
Very traditional, but
Yeah. So you're a rebel.
I've just never been attracted to them. Whenever I see them, I feel like they're like siblings, you know? Like our dynamic or the way I treat them, it's always been like a big brother or little brother kind of dynamic. And
Wow.
I couldn't see past them. I haven't found like an Asian man that's that attractive that I want to be in a relationship
So
with.
what do you go for?
Normally Black or Hispanic.
Wow.
Some white people
That's
here and there,
unique.
but Europeans.
That's unique.
And
Can't say that
how
about
would
you.
your parents, how do you think your parents would feel about you?
Not very happy.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Imagine you bringing home a black man. Oh,
Thanksgiving
no.
Day?
Oh,
Thanksgiving?
That's it. That's it, man.
No, I brought a friend over. Not even a guy I was dating. I brought a friend over. He stepped into the house. My grandma would not take her eyes off of him. She was just like, "Where are you going with him? Like, what are you doing? We're just going to Staples to grab something, Grandma." And she
And he was
asked-
black.
He was black.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
She asked my little cousin, like, "Go follow your cousin."
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. That's the world we live in today. Okay, so what about salary now? How much do you have
Yeah,
to make?
what minimum income? 70,000?
So we got a roof over our head, food coming in. Cool.
No, you gotta give a number, like a range.
No, I
A
don't
range.
know. That doesn't matter to me. You know why that doesn't matter?
Really?
Absolutely. You know why that doesn't matter? Inflation. I can give you a number today, and 3 months from now, it'll be a different number.
Yeah, you change it in 3 months.
Yeah, you can give a number now, and then we'll just add the inflation price.
Yeah, in 3 months I come back. I'm gonna call you and be like, "Yo, what's the number now?"
The salary
Honestly,
as is
it
now.
literally means nothing.
So
to
he can
me.
make 20,000. It's cool.
Look, if I don't, I take care of myself. I have my own money. I know how to take care of me. If I'm not paying your bills and you're happy, and I don't need you to pay my bills and I'm happy, I could give a shit. Maybe you like to do, maybe what it's like his calling is like, I don't know, break dancing in the park, and he only makes a couple $100 a week. That's fine. If that's his sole passion, that's what he wants to do. I'm for it.
Okay, that's very interesting. Laura, hold on real quick. Yeah, just pick a card up real
Pick a
quick.
card.
Yeah.
Because we need a number. Because
Yeah.
all of that sounds nice and all,
Yeah.
but look,
Reality.
when you're together with this man, especially if you guys are living together, that's when money's going to become a topic.
And is it sustainable? You know, like,
Money,
it's like,
yeah.
I don't know what your lifestyle is, so maybe it is. Maybe.
That's what I mean, is that I do live in a different reality. So I do understand how what I say, like, nobody would believe that I would say that. But I've literally lived with no money. I've lived weeks with just, having to ask people for money to get on the subway or having to figure out where I was going to get something from. Like, I'm never going to put an expectation on somebody that I know what I would share that space with.
Okay, so if we end up dating and we move in together, and I tell you, hey, I need to split these bills 60-40. 60 you, 40%
That's
me.
different. That's a percentage of. That's a share of cost. That is not a number he needs to make. That's a different
But then,
situation.
but you haven't provided a number. So if I'm only making let's say $40,000.
Well, then we talk about that before we move in together. So we're not in the house together and then split money. It's like, we would like to move in together now. Okay, cool. Where do you want to live? All right, this is how much it costs. Okay, well, 50-50, that's this and this. Can you afford that? No. Okay, let's pick somewhere else. Where can we find where we can cohabitate where it can be 50-50? If he can't, then we cannot cohabitate. That's where it stops. Don't get yourself in situations that are going to cause problems.
As long as you could do 50-50 in a comfortable situation, you're down for it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
I'll always hold up my end of the bargain.
I don't know about that. That's hard for me to believe. Because
Lord,
if you're working hard every day and you come home and you see that man on the couch playing 2K and Madden and Call of Duty, you're gonna
Bought him the damn game. I probably I got a controller next to him and be like, hang on, man, let me get next quarter. It's different.
Let's see what's on that card.
But it says, what's one thing you want to do next year? Can I say play video games now? That was too easy.
You got get another one. Give me that one.
Yeah.
That one, that's
what are they supposed to help me do? If you were trapped in one city for the rest of your life, where would it be? Here.
All right.
New York City.
Yeah, one more.
Are you trying to stump me?
Let me get
There.
It's not
Just because
No,
there's so
take
much
this.
going on here. Like New York City
That
isn't
just
just
caught me
one
off guard.
city. It's like 16
That just caught
cities.
me off guard.
Oh, this is a good one.
Make
Here you
up,
go.
yeah, make up.
Now you're just going.
This is a good one right now. Look.
They're targeting me.
No.
Would you rather have a joint account or separate accounts with your
That's
spouse?
perfect.
Is it one or the other?
That's perfect.
Can I only have a joint or only have separate?
What is this? What
what's
does
the
it say?
Because
It said
okay,
or.
would you rather have a joint account or separate accounts
It
with
said
your
or.
spouse?
So which one would you pick?
Yeah, which one would you
Joint.
pick? Joint?
Yeah.
Joint account with the broke dude.
What you said he was broke. I didn't say he
But
was
that's a
broke.
separate account. If it's
But
if
if
he broke it.
I could come to you with any.
Okay,
type
hang
of
on
income.
with your spouse, which means there's something legal involved. If you put my name on a piece of paper, motherfucker, yep, we're getting a joint account. I want to know every dime that's coming in because you decided you want half of my money too. I want to see every dime that's coming
All
in.
right, cool. So
Now, what we can do is take that joint account and we can create 2 savings accounts off of that we can each kind of feed into.
No. We
do
stay with the
whatever
joint
we
account.
do.
I need.
Hey, that's not separate accounts. That's still a savings
I'm-
account
I'm
attached
making-
with a
I'm
double.
making 40,000. I need you to be the sugar mama. Okay. Now, okay, I come to the table.
I did that. I played that role.
I know you
I've
have.
been there.
Exactly. I know you've been there. I know she has. So now I come to you with $40,000, and
That's
look,
nothing.
babe, but you don't have a minimum income, so that's fine because you mentioned as long as we're able to do 50-50 in a comfortable situation, we're fine. So now if I go say, hey, we could go live in the hood, but hey, we could do 50-50 and still manage to pay our expenses.
You know what
we're
I would
fine.
say? The U.S. isn't the only option to live on that cost.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Fuck it. If you don't only want to make that much, let's figure out how to throw it online. Let's go somewhere where it's really nice and we don't have to.
I said we're going to the Philippines, right? Yeah.
As long as you're flexible.
Dominican
There you go.
I don't think
I
you're
get
that
5
flexible.
acres for that.
Exactly.
I don't think you're that flexible. I don't know. That's hard for me to
My bodybuilding
believe.
That's
Yeah.
over me.
That's hard for me to
Flexibility is my
believe.
thing.
All right, Laura, what about you? Because
Yeah.
it
Wait,
looks like
actually, question for would you sign a prenup or like have a prenup or no?
Man, if it's got to get that serious, no.
wait, no prenup?
If you got to get me to sign a prenup, then we're not getting married.
Would you make him sign the prenup? Because he broke. So would you make him sign the prenup?
No, why?
Oh,
So if y'all get divorced, he taking all that. He taking the tattoos,
Man.
he
You know
taking
what I
everything.
see? That's just like, okay, let's set that boundary up there. Let's set that. Oh no, what these are, they're not boundaries. These are like invisible shock lines for
Yeah.
some point in your relationship where but you said, yo, if you always get to something where you're going to make that person a whole to this moment in time, life is fluid. Things will always change. You need to love every version of the people you go through
drove.
life with.
Do you drive? Do you drive?
I have a license. I
You
can
have
drive.
it?
I don't need to here. That's why I'd stay here.
If you drive a car, would you put insurance on it?
Of course.
Yeah, but
Because they make me.
yeah, but like insurance. Why would you put insurance on it though?
I've never caused an accident. It's all these other assholes that hit me.
Oh,
And the only reason I need to have it is so that their insurance pays for me.
So you put insurance on it just in case, right?
No, because the law tells me to do it.
Because the law tells you to do it?
Yeah, they're awful. They make us do all kinds of bills we shouldn't have to.
Stop playing. Stop dancing around. You know where
You
he's
know
going.
exactly what I'm
Stop
talking
dancing
about.
around.
I see where you're going with it, but my point is the
yeah,
same.
You're definitely trying to tap dance around this,
Yeah.
right? The
Okay,
point
so
is,
what's the
and
question?
I think it's if you don't have a minimum number, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that as long as, let's say, in a hypothetical situation, I come to you, $40,000, I want to date, and I want to build a future with you with my $40,000, then, as long as we're able to go 50-50 in a comfortable situation, then we're fine. We could live.
You know why I can say that comfortably? Because I'm the kind of person that you're going to be with. That 40,000 is not going to be 40,000 for long. If you continually work on yourself and you come in with a whole heart and you say you're going to have that 40,000, just being around me, your shit's going to increase. And I'm
No,
saying that.
wait, don't give it out.
No, I'm saying that's how I can say it confidently.
How is it going to
Yeah, I want to
increase?
hear.
Did we not talk about how the female supports, hey, you know what, and that little thing at work or that little thing that you have going on, here's the next move,
All right,
maybe you should try. Or you should try this. You should try that.
All right, so let me ask you this. If I come to you with my $40,000 and I work, I don't know, a regular job making $40,000, I can't even name a job. I don't, yeah, what? No, they're making more than 40.
Amazon.
Are they making 40? I don't even know. But let's say a regular job making 40. So you are going to have the expectation that I'm going to increase my income, right? Is that what you're telling me? You're going to have that certain expectation on me.
Expectations kill dreams. No, I guarantee you that.
You guarantee.
Guarantee.
So how in the world is that person going to be able to pull that off?
What do you mean?
So let's say if he's coming in to
See, expectations kill dreams. I don't let you walk in with the 40,000 letting you know, hey, I expect this to be 80,000, because that expectations kill dreams.
Okay.
When you come in with your 40,000 and be like, yo, okay, so we'll start out together here and we're in this together. Two alphas in a pack stick together until their pack grows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we build boundaries around what we have and we tend to our garden. And once our garden is big enough to transplant into a bigger spot, now we're both making more.
Well, I think she means like she'll encourage the man to like
It's
work
about being
harder.
I hear what
You
you're
gotta
saying.
remember, not every dude is gonna be down for
not
that.
That's
though.
cool,
It's
but
not
I know that before I get even involved
Any
with
more
your money.
serious, right?
I don't know. Look, I don't even care how much money you got in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even gotten that far with me if it's gotten that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's more of a deal breaker or anything. Oh, I have this much money. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's fun. That's fun. That's
don't
fun.
care.
The reason we're bringing this up is because we see so many. We've seen so many people that get into relationships and not consider money, right? And it is one of the topics where it's considered, I guess, taboo, right? So it's one of those topics that could be a bit difficult to talk about, but it's a necessary conversation, especially in a place like New York City, which is extremely
Need money.
expensive.
Yeah.
Right, those conversations have to come up at some
If you
point.
let it be.
We've seen. Look, you've gone through a divorce, right? So when you get to the divorce table, no one's talking about love, right? Everyone's talking about assets and money.
Which is why
That's
I'm
what-
saying, like, why are we getting the law involved with love? That's all I gotta say. Why is
That's a
this
whole nother.
important?
That's a whole nother
that's how it
conversation.
is,
That's a
that's
whole
how it
nother
is.
topic. So, Laura, let's get to you because it looks
Yeah.
like you would not be down to date a broke dude. So let's talk about you a little bit.
That's true.
What's your minimum number? 70,000?
Arrange.
70,000. I was
60?
Clearly not the answer.
No, say it. No.
200.
She's like, hang on here.
wait,
I live in New
Lord,
York, baby. It's gonna be a little more
wait,
than double.
I got to start bringing the Bible in here because this is. You said $200.
200K.
Wait, you
annual
said
salary, right?
so? Hold on, you
Minimum?
said 200,000 minimum salary.
Would be
Annual.
lovely, yeah.
And what percentage of men you think making that? What
What
percentage,
percentage of
of men?
men you think are making that?
Like what percentage of men?
Yeah.
A few, actually. It
No,
was
give a number. Give a number. What percent of men you think?
the men that I've dated that. who-
Period.
Oh,
Period.
Just period.
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 I don't know the numbers there, just because in New York there's also a lot of people in finance, like wealth management, like those kind of careers. That's not anything. Like I remember talking to one of my roommates and or past roommates. She had mentioned she also works in banking.
Yeah,
She's just like, that's nothing.
yeah.
Like 100K is nothing.
Oh yes. Yeah.
okay.
So like going from there, I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, if that's nothing, I should aim higher.
Okay, cool. You're looking for the 6 foot tall dude earning over $200,000 that is either black or Hispanic and with full hair, a beard that connects, and does he have to be physically fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
So a physically fit Black or Hispanic dude earning $200,000 that is 6 feet
Something
tall
about
with a
Jennifer.
full head of hair and a beard. Don't forget, the
the
beard
guy,
needs
yeah.
to
It gotta
connect.
connect. It gotta
Okay, that
connect.
beard got to connect. All
See how
right.
sad they got over the last 5
No,
minutes.
fellas, don't try to get in her
It's
DMs.
like this, and then just
Don't try to get in her DMs with those struggle beards. All right.
yeah.
Grow your beard out, then you can send her a DM. All right. Put your oils at night. Wait 6 months, then you can send her a DM. So
And if you make 175, it's not enough. It's
175.
not enough.
We can negotiate that, but
And
No,
on top,
ain't
and,
no
on,
negotiating.
and on top of that, he has to actually like you.
And on top of that, hold on. And on top of that, he has to actually look attractive.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna date a busted looking dude.
actually, though,
Oh, you date busted dudes.
I mean, I had a huge crush on J. Cole, like through his homeless phase too. They don't have to be that pretty.
He's famous.
Okay, yes.
I mean, talking about the homeless aesthetic, okay?
I can't pick another guy like you wouldn't know him anyway.
So you chose a celebrity that makes millions
Yeah.
as your
The role
kid.
model.
No, look wise, J. Cole. I'm not aiming for J. Cole, but I just mean like I like a man who looks like rough. Like he doesn't have to be a model. He definitely doesn't have to be.
Because like a man, look like a man.
Look like a man who can like, I wouldn't say fight bears, but like rescue me from a fire and shit like
the bear's
that.
coming, he better handle that, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, okay, and then now, what position are y'all putting yourselves in, especially you, to find these historical unicorns?
She's using the apps. That's what she's
You finding
using.
unicorns on the apps?
A few actually.
Where they at?
She can put her filters
Where
there.
they at? I don't
Where they
I
at?
don't see them. Where they at?
Well, they're not in my life anymore, but they exist.
No, they definitely exist,
Yeah.
but they exist like this though. That's the only thing.
It might work out for the fact that she doesn't have a lot of time right now, though. So that maybe that's good. She's
A lot
being a
of
little bit
time.
more selective.
What you mean a lot of time? What you mean?
Well, she says she is open to in a relationship right now, but she doesn't necessarily have time for it.
Yeah, she's down for the situationship. Yeah.
So I guess that means that there can be space and time between finding your filters, right?
Right.
Yeah, God bless you and good luck with that. So, do y'all factor in the biological clock when it comes to dating and stuff like that?
I'll let you answer
Oh,
that
yeah, of
first
course
because
she
I'm
does.
older, so I'm
Because you
different.
come from a traditional Chinese
Yeah.
family, so
Yeah.
they factor that in. Absolutely.
So most recently, I think like when I turned 27, which is last year, like it started really like my family started coming at me.
Oh yeah, they're like, stop bringing these black home.
Bring a Chinese man.
Chinese
What's
man.
wrong with you?
What the hell's wrong with
I mean, they also be like introducing me, like in
you?
Asian culture, like, oh, you don't have a boyfriend? Like, let me hit up this other grandmom. She has a grandson, or like she knows someone. So like, they all have a network
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
of single
That's true.
people. But I've been starting to feel it too, even without the pressure. I just feel like my friends have also are in a relationship, started getting married, thinking about having kids. I'm like, oh wow, I feel like I should start considering that. You know, like,
get that.
do I need to freeze my eggs? Like, start considering those options because I do like my life now. Like, I do like focusing on my career and like traveling without having to worry about responsibility. But I think it's just natural.
I think you could still just move about your life and just keep your eye open, right? Just there's nothing wrong with just keeping an eye open for that quality dude. I think that what the struggle that most women go through is there's all these options, right? Of dudes on Hinge, dudes hitting you up in Instagram DMs, right? Dudes that are meeting you at the bar. So all these dudes, a lot of options, but let's be honest, the quality isn't really there, right? Because even if he is a black dude, $200,000, 6 feet tall, beard connect, all that stuff, he might not be a person of character, right? So now that's a whole nother thing to think about. So I think where women struggle with is the quantity versus the quality, right? Because they see all these options and they think like all these options are always going to be there. And it's just like the quality. So let's say if there's 100 dudes contacting you, how many of them are actually really legit quality? 5, right? Because with good
on the
intentions.
other end of that are actually looking for legit quality. So that's two sides of the story.
Are-
Because I was thinking about the question before we got here today. I was like, how do you know you're ready to be in a relationship? I'm like, well, you'd first have to decide what that relationship looks like to you. What are you looking for?
But there's certain times where Laura just mentioned that the thought of possibly being open to those quality relationships are there. It's not like you're going to pursue them or anything, but the thought is in the back of your mind.
Right. And I do want to like add, like, just because those are what I'm looking for in a man doesn't mean like I don't date other guys outside of that. You know,
Yeah,
every
of
once in a while, I feel like as I age, get older, I definitely like have dated guys who don't make the salary but are great conversationalists. Like we vibe really well. They're not that tall, or like maybe they do have receding hairline, stuff like that. And it's okay. Like certain stuff could be overlooked, but I've also like dated guys who don't have the qualities that I like and have shitty personalities. I'm like, you know what? Might as well aim.
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt.
When was the last time you seriously dated a guy that didn't meet those qualifications?
I guess like 2 relationships ago.
And how long ago was that?
It was last year.
Damn. It's kind of quick. Quick little pivot.
Yes.
What? Okay. Because you talking about J. Cole. What?
He's trying to connect the dots. He's like,
I know. I got myself up there.
This is for both of y'all. What, if you had to give a number, what percentage of men do you find attractive on, like, just every day, just walking around on your phone? Just what percentage of men do you find attractive just in life?
Instagram,
In
going
person,
through your life,
men that's approaching you.
subway system.
Like, if you had to give a number,
going
like,
to
what
work.
percent do you find attractive? That you say, oh, he's handsome, I'll date him.
Ooh, I think sometimes in the day I don't see attractive people. Like,
So give a number. Like, give a number. If you had to, it could be as low
if
as
you
possible.
see 100 people in a day, how many of them are
Yeah.
hot?
I think in a previous episode, a guest mentioned.
Yeah, I like the way you said that.
Yeah, I think in a previous episode, a guest mentioned, what, 5%?
Yeah. So if you see, just like you said, if you see,
I was gonna say like 5%, but maybe lower too.
sheesh, it's hard. It's hard for these men out here.
But like based purely off of looks, it's really hard. Like you do have to delve into the personality, and sometimes
no.
like a personality.
We just focus on the.
we just
walking
focus-
down the street.
Okay.
Walking down the street. Because let's be honest, if that person doesn't pass that test, you're not talking to him.
Yep.
You're not talking to him. Come
Yeah.
on. You're not.
So you said-
let's be honest.
Not in the passing, but if it's like targeted and on Hinge, and I just want to
initial.
try something new.
Initial. I'm just talking about initial.
You're not.
And what
cut-
about you?
Cut this shit.
What about you? 200?
I mean, I'm in a
optimistic.
unique category, though. You got to remember, all of my friends are bodybuilders. So as far as what is aesthetically, hot, and like, I have lots of friends that are super hot. But as far as people that I find attractive, that I might be like, oh shit, is he looking at me? I'm like, 2%.
Yeah,
That's even lower than.
yeah.
Well, see, that's the hard part, right? It's like, I am really open. The salary doesn't matter. All of this stuff doesn't matter, but you got a big ass hoop to jump through to begin with.
You have to look.
Because for me to even consider you on my level, you have to be on my level.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear that.
And are you ladies open to approaching men?
Yeah. I haven't really ever wanted to, but yeah, I would, I guess.
You got
Would?
to.
If I felt like, yeah.
When was the last time you approached a man?
I don't think I've done that before.
Wow.
96.
Oh, a long time ago.
Laura, when was the last time you approached a man?
Like a month or 2 ago at a bar.
At a bar?
Good.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you say?
And he was
What'd I say?
Black, 6
What are you
feet tall,
drinking?
head of hair, beard connect, all that?
Well, it's dark. I couldn't really tell if you had all those qualities.
And you were probably drunk.
She's like, in the shadows, I could see 50%.
I was a
And that was
little
my
tipsy.
half, so
You're a little
ready to
tipsy. You're a
go.
little tipsy at the bar. Did you guys end up going on a date?
No,
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
it just started and ended at that bar.
At that bar, okay. So, and then prior to that, was there a point in time where you approached the dude? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay. Where?
Well, sometimes on a street, like I would just have a conversation with them.
On the street.
Like walk, or just like we're waiting in line for something, coffee shop or something,
Really?
Yeah. It would start out
You
something
start
small.
hanging out in her neighborhood. So apparently, this is normal. For her.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I don't see any-
How many women do you see approaching dudes at a coffee
How many
shop?
little Asian girls you see approaching black men in the coffee shop?
Especially the 6 foot tall
In
black
her
man.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
In
the
her
6 foot tall black
neighborhood.
man.
What is this?
What is this?
Yeah, no.
But
no,
yo,
no. Pick a card. Just
yeah,
pick a
I was
card.
just about to say. I was
Yeah,
just about
because
to say that.
you on some bullshit. So pick up a
Yeah,
card.
yeah.
Pick up a card.
Can a person with a high sex drive have a successful relationship with a person that has low sex drive?
Ooh, that's an interesting.
That is an interesting question.
Oh, would you be the low sex drive person or the high sex drive
I
person?
think I'd be high.
High.
Yeah. No, I don't think it'd work.
No.
Have you ever dealt with that?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Which is why it didn't work.
Wow. So
Must
he
have been a
didn't.
20-year-older guy.
He didn't want. He would just say, "I'm tired."
Yeah. Sometimes, like, I remember, it's like we don't see each other that often. Maybe we see each other twice a week. Maybe that is often, but twice a week. And then one of those days he wouldn't want to have sex. Like, I haven't seen you in a few days. Like, what you been up to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No,
Wow.
because I mean, if he's out there making 200K, he's probably tired.
Yeah, he's probably tired. 200K. That's a
hard
lot of
job.
work.
That's a lot of work.
If you're in finance, like you're
know?
working a lot of hours. He doesn't have time to blow your back out every night.
Then he better, I don't know, like,
So it's a trade-off. Either you want let me tell you.
Why do you think my body is so
Let me
low,
tell you,
though?
broke dudes, they'll give it to you every single day, right? So
'Cause he got time?
They got plenty of time.
And
So
That's what I'm saying, girl. You
what do
gotta
you
find
want?
a middle ground.
you
Keep
know,
yourself
yeah,
busy.
you would know.
You know the game.
She been smiling since she
Better
was
around
there. She been smiling all day.
Broke dudes, they will give it to you 3-4 times in a day. They'll give you whatever you want. They'll get nasty. Everything.
OnlyFans, all that.
Oh, everything.
She's like, well, moderation.
They'll
wait, yeah, with
they'll
that, at the
bring
same
out
time,
the
I'm like, why do you have this much time?
because they're broke.
They broke.
So middle ground then, yeah.
Yeah, middle ground.
I guess so.
You see, that's why you gotta
Buy him a
be,
camera and say, you're gonna sit home. You better make some money off of them toes, okay? I
Yeah.
want to see a check when I get home.
And then was he a high earner?
Like salary.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go. So you want everything. You want everything.
I did. And I think I was expecting a lot in that
You
relationship.
definitely were.
I was. But it wasn't, I mean, I didn't break up with him because of the low sex drive or anything. It was purely the guy who was going through a lot of shit. It was just an emotional toll.
But I'm pretty sure if his sex drive was up to par, it would have kind of
I don't
helped a bit.
know.
Well,
I don't
sex
think
and
so.
emotions are highly related. So if his sex drive was up, I guarantee his emotions would have been just fine. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're linked.
Yeah.
200K is a lot. It take a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
He ain't trying to mess his back up because he can't go to work the next day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just letting you know that from now. So like how because you said you approach men. How do you want men the more conventional way? How would you both of y'all like men to approach y'all? Like what you want them to say? Like how would you want men to approach you? You in the supermarket and like, hey, what's good? You need help with that? Like
Yeah,
how
because
would you want
apparently you're approaching dudes.
them? Yeah, at bars.
Coffee
First
shop.
thing
Black men.
that comes out of your mouth,
6'6".
if it is, you're so beautiful,
Oh,
get out of
God.
here.
Nah, dude.
Next.
Guys
Outta
already
here.
know that's some
Done.
corny stuff.
You want to
Yeah,
say?
yeah,
You
yeah,
want,
yeah.
Guys are
really?
still saying that?
Fuck,
Yeah.
yes.
Guys are still saying that? Really?
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. It's like,
2023?
good. I know. I looked in the mirror today. Cool. Did you see anything else that was interesting? You know what I mean? You got anything else going on there? You're clever. Because if what I'm only going to say after is like, thank you.
I thought that was played out.
Yeah,
And
but-
then the next that happens is like some silence, and oh, you didn't think I was going to say anything back, huh? You didn't have the next step planned. Okay, that's it.
well, especially with you, they'd probably be like, "Oh, where'd you get that tattoo?"
It's always the tattoos, the bodybuilding. Are you a WWE wrestler? Are you this? Are you that? And it's like if you go through my top 10, I've heard it before, and I'm like,
Jesus Lord.
well, if you're on my level, you know that we get that a lot.
What about you? You want them to approach you?
Honestly,
Hey, baby.
I've fallen for people who have given me cheesy, corny, like dad jokes and like pickup
Wow.
lines. I love
Wow.
that kind of stuff.
Well, sense of humor, then, right?
Yeah,
You said that was important.
it's a big thing. So like,
I don't know if I'm buying that. I don't know if I'm buying that. A dude comes
Now
approaches
you got to send a decoy in now, see if it really happens.
Yeah, I gotta send like an experiment, like a dude. I'm gonna hire a guy.
Hidden camera.
Like
you
a
better
6'7"
stalk
black
me.
dude.
I'm gonna hire.
6'8" black dude.
With American Express back card just coming out.
I'm
full,
gonna
full
hire
beard,
like
head of hair.
one of my brother's homies. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have him come to you. He has hair, beard, all that. Black
Can you
dude.
imagine that? All
With a
walk out
pickup line?
With the dad joke.
Give a
Hey
dad
there.
joke.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture this dude coming up to you with a dad joke, like, "Hey, like, come on."
And
Now.
then
just fall from the stars.
he'll go straight home with you, and then boom, because he's making 200K, go straight home with you.
I mean, this is probably not gonna happen.
all right.
Not right away, but
Not right away, you know.
Probably eventually.
Second date.
You know what though?
Yeah.
And that's a
Second
good
date.
point because there was something you said earlier that you were telling guys that they don't need to say a lot of stuff. I have literally told somebody that when they were just doing that, they were like, "I'm this, I'm that, we'd be perfect together, this, that, and whatever." And I'm just sitting there looking. He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "My body literally cringes anytime you come near me." And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I really don't think that if you're so luxury, you'd need all that advertisement."
Yeah.
So that's important. If you're of quality and you're valuable and you come up in there and you say all these things, like you got all these things, it's like, no. I've seen the cheap ads, Sunday. Like you're too salesy. I don't like that, right?
right. If you have something, you don't have to broadcast it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
you're
show
gonna
it.
see
Like,
it. You're gonna see it naturally. So, for this relationship talk, solutions moving forward, what would y'all do to be able to retain a quality, successful relationship from now on until the future?
To retain equality?
Retain. That's big for women. Yeah, retention is everything
Yeah.
for women, because that shows your quality, that how long you could hold onto a quality man.
Yeah, getting a man is easy.
Yeah, but keeping him, especially a good man, 200K, 500K, what you said, 2 million a year, like
6'6".
it's 6'6", the devil 6'6", everything. Like it takes a lot.
Keeping a man, I've never really thought about that.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's always
that's why I asked you.
Well, now I
You know,
have to think
he's
about
right. Most women never actually
don't.
think about keeping a man.
Because the men usually come to you and do all the work, but now
Yeah, but it's like that type of dude that you want, you got to put some
you
work in
gotta
now.
put some work in.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's not just you keeping a man, it's you guys keeping each other, like, interested in the relationship, in the conversation you're in. Like,
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you
that's
come on your
what
side.
you-
Come on your side.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Come on your side.
All right, so let's say you find him on Hinge. Okay, now what?
and now we meet up.
Now you meet
Okay.
up.
Yeah. We go on a date. If we hit it off, that's great. We go on a second date, third date. Obviously, he's not paying all the bills at this point. Like I like to buy the dinners. I like to buy the drinks. You know, I don't think it's really fair for a man to pay every single time. I am more traditional, where like the first drink or meal, it's on the man.
Yeah, I can see
If
that.
you want to split, then we're friends. So maybe not next time.
Honestly, I
Only
feel
on
like
the
that's
first
almost
date.
just that's for your guys' ego. That's us recognizing you have an ego and you want to feel powerful. So buy the first drink. That's fine. But you know what? Let me get the second round so that you don't feel obligated to continue spending money just because you want to talk to me. But I understand that too.
Yeah, you don't have to bring me out every time. You don't have to pay for me to be here. I want to be here, and that's why I'm paying for the dinner.
You remove money from the relationship.
Right.
And you actually get a
Every
relationship.
woman's different.
Right.
Some
And
women untitled.
And you're gonna continue approaching guys at the coffee shops?
6'6", black dudes.
no, well, if I'm seeing someone, then no. So this is
like,
why,
"Let me be
like,
clear."
I have like tunnel vision, where like when I'm seeing a guy, I'm only seeing him. I'm not.
okay.
Can't really focus, and my feelings and emotion, my mentality isn't in it to see someone else.
Cool.
But also, like, it's a lot of pressure for guys to figure out things to do that are fun, like date night ideas. So I feel like women should also bring to the table, like, go do some research, find something fun, pay attention to what he's saying, what he likes, so that you can plan things around that.
That's good. So let's break. You in the crib. And you see his garbage is stacked up kind of high. You know, that laundry looking crazy. The dishes is piled up. What you doing?
If he's really busy and I'm not doing anything, I'll do the dishes. I'll do the laundry. I clean up.
Oh, yeah. Consistently?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
So
I mean, that's how our house.
yeah.
And you're gonna make that Chinese pork.
the pork.
That pork.
That's a big dish, right?
It is a big
Like
dish.
lasagna.
Depending on how exhausted I'm going to be after I've done all the chores at home, but like in my household, like at home, my dad cleans the dishes if my mom's too tired. She's running around handling business stuff. So, and vice versa. If my dad had a tough day at work, my mom will wash the dishes.
That's teamwork.
Yeah.
That's what relationships should be, is teamwork.
That's teamwork.
Maybe that's why relationships aren't working out now, is because people forgot that it's teamwork.
Entitlement.
Yeah.
Especially okay. You want to talk? Okay. What about you? It's a solution wise. Like
What would I fix for the future?
Yeah, to retain that.
So
that
I
good
tell
man.
you, this is the second time that I've made this decision for myself, because the last relationship I decided to do it was just with the wrong person. But being somebody who's come up in the lifestyle that I have, there's been a lot of times that I've omitted things from knowledge in the relationship because I was feared that I was going to be judged for that. So my last relationship, I was just completely honest. I said, you know what, it's kind of funny. It's like I'm being stubborn in a way. It's like, I am not tell a lie, because I am not getting caught in one ever again. So I'm going to be totally truthful and honest. I just picked the wrong person for that, because then they saw that because I was truthful and honest always, that they could manipulate me and make me feel like they were being reciprocal. Which, whatever. Everybody has their demons. Everybody needs to work out their problems or whatever. But now, moving forward, specifically with this new relationship, because it's so profound to me, that honesty, like, if I'm scared, if I'm insecure, if I'm anything, the minute I feel it, you're going to know it, because I don't want this stuff to build. Emotions need to transmute. They need to come in. I need to talk about it, get it out so it doesn't exist in me anymore, and move on, because I try to vibrate in that unconditional love space always. And I'm trying to keep you there too. So that's what I also say. It's like open communication. We can talk about anything goes. You don't ever have to worry about me laughing at you, hating you. If you need to talk, like, this is where we at.
Okay, so you in the crib with your man, and you hear the stomach bubbling, you just like growling a little bit. Like, what you taking
Honey,
care
I'm
of
a
that?
healer. Yeah, I'm
taking
gonna be
care of
like,
that?
honey, do you need ginger? You need honey tea? Come on, let me go over this side.
You making sure? You wait. What's your nationality?
Technically, I'm mostly French, but I'm basically white. So I don't
okay.
speak French. That French wasn't passed down in my family. I actually grew up in the community was like Latin, so like Mexican, so
Okay.
like Central California. My family really has very little influence on the message that I have and how I see relationships. They're actually the reason I am this way because they had, well, maybe I take that back. They did have influence because I was not going to be that. You know what I mean? I figured out all aspects of how they loved each other and how the relationship was between each other. And it was toxic and it created a lot of really unhappy people. And I don't want to be unhappy. It's kind of boring, sad.
Right. Well, I think this was a
good one.
good conversation. You know, are you ready? Are you ready for a relationship? And I think to sum things up, 3-week relationship for you. So we want you to keep us posted. Let us know how that
Absolutely.
goes.
Just make sure you know what you want when you ask yourself that question. I think that's more important for you to worry about than how much money they make or whether you're alpha or not. It's like, what do you really need in your life right
Absolutely.
Better said than easier said than done.
Yeah. So we got the 3-week relationship, and you know, you're open to a situationship right now, and figuring out what's going to be your next step.
Hot girl.
You know, you're a little bit kind of like on your hot girl stuff, and you don't know if you're going to be here or in LA or Miami, wherever. So I guess the next big thing is for you is to figure out the next step. So this was a good conversation. You know, I want everyone tuning in here to think introspectively, spend some time to look in the mirror and really think about what it is you want. Think about your past situations, what you've learned from them, and what you are going to bring into the next situation, right? Even if you are open. If you're not open, that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with a self-improvement journey. Do it. Do it for yourself. Self-care. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're done with that and you know that you have some capacity for someone to enter your life, you better know what it is that person should bring to the table. And what are the boundaries? What are what are you comfortable with? And what are the deal breakers? What are the red flags, the green flags for you? So that is it. That's all we have. And thank you. And
Appreciate
that's it.
y'all, man.
And for Laura, the DMs are open for Laura. The DMs
Get in
are
that back door.
DMs are open for coaching, so if you need that nutrition.
Oh yes. So, by the way, so talk about your coaching. Talk a little bit about your
So
coaching.
it's IFBB Pro _ Phoenix Rose. It is everything mind, body, spirit. Basically, it just starts with a conversation. So if you're interested in anything that I talked about, whether it be the tarot, whether it be the energy, whether it be relationship stuff, whether it be food, fitness, whatever it is, if you need to make a change in your life, I tell people, like, you have a map and you have a car. Your body is your car, and I'm the mechanic. I'm going to bring here, you're going to say, I want to go this place on my map. And I'm going to tell you, well, your car looked busted, so we need to fix some things. Let's get you into the shop. Let's go ahead and get everything going, and then we'll get you to that space so you can take your journey. So if you have any questions, just DM me.
So how does it work? You travel over to the gym that they...
No, I do everything virtual.
Oh, virtual. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a million different gyms, and I basically know all of the floor plans and setups of everything.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, because of COVID, I can do anything.
Okay.
I don't care if you got a pair of pantyhose and like a can of tuna. We're working out.
All right.
Because there's a lot of functional things that people cannot do that will tear you up, and I don't need no weights.
Well, there you go, fellas. If your lady wants to get into the gym and she needs a little bit of guidance, here we
can do
are.
it in-home.
We're
Yeah.
providing that solution here. And for Laura, her DMs are open. For the brothers that are over 6 feet tall that make 200,000 with a full head of hair, a beard, and a good physique.
666. You want the devil.
There you go. So on that, thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks.
Thank you. God bless. Man.